This year, you get 3 new Apple Watches to choose from: the Apple Watch SE, Series 8, and brand new Apple Watch Ultra. Wondering what all the differences are between them and how to choose the right one? Well, we're going to break down all of the specs to help you make the right choice. This year, the Apple Watches are going to be available to order right now. You don't have to wait until any date to pre-order them, but they are going to be released on different dates. So September 16 for the SE and Series 8 and September 23rd for the Apple Watch Ultra. We do have a full deep dive and hands-on with each of these watches straight from Apple Park. Those links are in the description for you if you want to go watch that. But in the meantime, let's help you make the right choice of which Apple Watch you should choose. The first thing you need to know, of course, it's the price. From least expensive to most expensive, the Apple Watch SE starts at $249 US. That's for the GPS edition. The Series 8 starts at $399 US. That's also for the GPS edition. Of course, if you want to add cellular connectivity, that's the feature that lets you use the watch independently of your phone. That does bump the price up a little bit more. And of course, if you choose a larger case size, that also does increase the cost. The Series 8 also has the option of choosing a stainless steel finish instead of the aluminum, or as I like to say, aluminium casing. The Apple Watch Ultra is the most expensive of the options available. It's $799 US, but unlike the SE and Series 8, this one has a titanium casing. That's your only option. It's a much more durable and rugged design, and it also comes with both GPS and cellular or LTE connectivity by default. You don't have to pay extra to get cellular connectivity. All right, let's talk about the design and the display. So the Apple Watch SE and Series 8 come in 2 different case sizes. The SE in a 40 or 44 millimeter case size, and the Series 8 in a 41 or 45 millimeter case size. The Ultra is ultra big. It's 49 millimeters. That's your only case size option. Now, the Series 8 also has an edge-to-edge display, and it can also remain always on. That's exactly the same as we saw on the Series 7. The Apple Watch SE does not have an always-on display, and you can definitely see the bezels around the screen of the SE. It does not go edge-to-edge like the Series 8. The Ultra, being the bigger and more durable watch with its titanium casing, also has a flat display with sapphire crystal glass. It's also got that always-on display option, just like the Series 8, but it is the brightest of all 3 Apple Watches. It can reach a maximum brightness of 2000 nits compared to 1000 on the Series 8 and SE. And it's worth noting that all of these are Retina LTPO OLED displays. The Series 8 and Ultra are both dust resistant, but the Ultra goes one step further with additional display edge protection. All of the watches are of course water resistant, with the SE and Series 8 going down to 50 meters. The Ultra doubles that, as you would expect from a more durable watch, down to 100 meters. Now, every Apple Watch since the dawn of time, well, you know what I mean when I say that, not the dawn of time, but like since the first Apple Watch, have had a digital crown and a side button. You use that to navigate through the watch in conjunction with the touchscreen. The Ultra also adds an additional button on the left-hand side of the casing. It's called an action button, and you can actually customize this and program it to do certain actions, say for example, using it to quick start a specific workout. All right, let's talk about some of the health and safety features on each of these watches. So just like the Series 7, the Series 8 and the Apple Watch Ultra have both an ECG app and a blood oxygen sensor. The Apple Watch SE does not have either of these two. However, it still does do things like high and low heart rate detection, which is something the more expensive watches also offer. One of the big buzzy new features of the Apple Watch this year is a temperature sensor, but that's only going to be found on the Series 8 and Ultra. Primarily, this is going to be used for menstrual cycle tracking and to predict ovulation. All three watches have pretty much the same sleep tracking and workout tracking features that you'd expect, thanks to the watchOS 9 software update. Now, the good news is watchOS 9 is also coming to some older Apple Watches as well from the Series 4 and onwards. So even if you don't necessarily want to upgrade your Apple Watch hardware, you're still getting a lot of the same software features on board. So that includes things like sleep stages if you want to wear your watch to bed to track your sleep. There are also things like your automatic running and cycling detection. So if you forget to start a workout, this will automatically prompt you to start tracking it, as well as things like more advanced running metrics in watchOS 9, including stats like ground contact time. But the big buzzy new feature that is also on all three new watches is, of course, crash detection. Now, this uses the accelerometer and the improved 3-axis gyroscope to detect if you've been in a serious car accident. And then if you don't respond to the alert that pops up on the watch, it will automatically call emergency services and alert your contacts. The Ultra also adds an extra 86 decibel siren, and you can use this to attract attention if, say, for example, you end up stuck in a remote hiking location. Battery life is always the big one. Now, the SE and Series 8 are still only rated for a total of 18 hours battery life. This is enough to get you through the day, but you might need to top it up if you do want to take advantage of things like sleep tracking. Now, there is also a new low power mode that's coming in watchOS 9. And the good news is, again, it's also going to apply for some older Apple Watches as well that are compatible with the update. And this promises to extend battery life to a maximum of 36 hours if you turn it on from when the battery is at 100% on that full charge. So really looking forward to seeing if that holds true to the claim. The Series 8 also keeps that same fast charging that we saw on the Series 7, so you can give your watch a quick top up before bed to be able to do sleep tracking and don't have to wait too long. It will also charge from flat to full in a much shorter period of time than the SE. However, you will need to use the 20-watt USB-C adapter, and that's not included in the box. Now, the Ultra has the largest capacity battery of all of these new Apple Watches, rated at 36 hours of runtime. But the good news is later in the year, there's going to be a new battery optimization update that promises to give you up to 60 hours of total battery life. I see this being really useful if you're trying to do some multi-sport workouts across the course of a day or 2 days even, or just you're like me and you don't want to charge your watch every day. And all three watches use the new S8 chip that promises faster performance than older Apple Watch models. Let's touch on a few of the things that the Apple Watch Ultra has that really separate it in terms of the specs from the Series 8 and the SE. Now, as I mentioned, this is a much more durable watch overall. It's larger, it's got a higher capacity battery, but there are a couple of specific hardware features and specs on board that really might make the difference for you if you are choosing between the three. The first is dual frequency L1 and L5 GPS bands. Then there's also a dive computer app and a depth gauge, as well as a water temperature sensor if you're doing anything involving scuba diving, for example. It also has 2 speakers on the casing instead of the one that's on the SE and Series 8. And there is also a 3-mic array, which is specifically designed to help reduce things like wind noise. Say you're on a hike and you want to take a call on the top of a mountain, you can do that, and it should hopefully make your voice a little bit clearer than, say, the other 2 watches. At least that's the Apple claim. So those are the main specs that separate the SE, Series 8 and Apple Watch Ultra. And of course, there are full deep dives and hands-on if you really want to see how these are going to potentially look on your wrist. All of those videos are linked down for you in the description below. And there's also links on latest pricing, things like availability, and where you can get your hands on each of the new Apple Watch models. If you have any extra questions about the differences between the Apple Watch models, maybe there's a certain feature you'd like me to do a deep dive on, pun totally intended, with the dive features on the Apple Watch Ultra, let me know in the comments. You can find me on your favorite social media app as well. Until next time, I'll see you later.